There was a version of you that everyone loved. You were available, always understanding, always forgiving, always patient. You gave people the benefit of the doubt, even when they didn't deserve it. You answered late-night messages. You listened to problems that weren't yours. You adjusted your mood to make other people comfortable. And because of that, people liked the old you. But the truth is, the old you was exhausted, constantly thinking about how others felt, constantly trying to avoid conflict, constantly trying to keep everyone happy. You called it kindness, but a lot of it was fear. Fear of disappointing people, fear of losing people, fear of being misunderstood. So you tolerated things that slowly drained you. You ignored subtle disrespect. You ignored one-sided effort. You ignored people who only showed up when they needed something, because walking away felt too harsh. You believed loyalty meant endurance. You believed patience meant strength. But patience without boundaries becomes self-abandonment, and eventually, you notice something painful. The more you gave, the more people expected, not appreciated, expected. Your effort became normal. Your availability became assumed. Your understanding became required. And the moment you hesitated, they noticed. That's when the change started. Not loud, not dramatic, quiet. You started protecting your time. You started noticing patterns. You started asking yourself, who actually shows up for me? That question is uncomfortable because sometimes the answer is very few people. So you stopped overextending. You stopped replying instantly. You stopped fixing problems that weren't yours. You stopped chasing people who kept drifting away. And suddenly, people said you changed. You're different now. You're distant. You used to be nicer. You don't care like you used to. But what they really meant was, you're harder to access now. Because the old version of you gave unlimited access, no boundaries, no conditions, just endless patience. And some people were comfortable with that. But growth changes access. Growth teaches you that kindness without boundaries invites exploitation. Growth teaches you that not everyone deserves your emotional energy. Growth teaches you that loyalty should be mutual, not one-sided. The old you was easy to reach. The new you requires effort, and effort filters people. Because some people loved your energy, but never planned to reciprocate it. When you stopped overgiving, they felt the loss, not because they missed you, but because they missed the convenience. And that realization hurts, because it forces you to see relationships clearly. Some people didn't love you. They loved the role you played in their life. The listener, the fixer, the emotional support system, the reliable one. But once you stepped out of that role, they didn't know how to interact with you anymore. And that's okay, because the new version of you isn't trying to be useful to everyone. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to protect your peace. You're trying to give energy to people who actually value it, not just consume it. The old you would chase explanations. The new you observes behavior. The old you feared losing people. The new you understands the wrong people leaving creates space for the right ones. The old you apologized for boundaries. The new you enforces them calmly. That's why people say they miss the old you, because the old you was easier to benefit from. But the new you has standards. The new you watches patterns. The new you walks away quietly when something doesn't feel right. And that makes some people uncomfortable. But the right people, they don't miss the old you. They respect the new you because they see the difference. They see someone who values themselves, someone who doesn't overextend, someone who gives genuinely without losing themselves. The truth is, the old you isn't coming back, not because you became cold, but because you became aware. Aware of how your energy was used, aware of how your silence was ignored, aware of how much you sacrificed to maintain connections. And once awareness appears, you can't go back to blind loyalty. So yes, some people miss the old you, but that's not your responsibility anymore. Your responsibility is to the person you're becoming, stronger, calmer, more selective, more peaceful. Because growth sometimes looks like distance. It looks like silence. It looks like walking away from dynamics that once felt normal. But that distance, that silence, that calm detachment, that's the sound of someone finally choosing themselves. And the people who truly belong in your life, they won't miss the old you. They'll appreciate the new one.